So as you guys know, the Trump administration is full of liars. One of the main liars in today's time being Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We've talked about her sort of compulsive lies, but essentially that's her job, but that doesn't justify it in any way, shape, or form. She's essentially the liar for the president and the White House. And there have been some videos showing how some of her tactics of lying, but basically there has been a complete bombshell, if you will, with Giuliani and Trump coming out saying that Trump reimbursed Michael Cohen the $130K for the Stormy Daniels hush payment. And I talked about that whole story, and I came out and said, hey, there's no way in hell that you're telling me that Michael Cohen actually paid $130 in a hush payment in a non-disclosure agreement out of his own pocket and out of his own, goodness, the goodness of his heart. I said, there's no way you can tell me that you are in a situation in which you are the lawyer of some pampered, piece of shit who was born with the silver spoon in his mouth, and he's a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, but you're going to pay $130K out of your own pocket to foot a bill in a non-disclosure agreement? No fucking chance. And so there was essentially a bombshell, and it showed that Giuliani and Trump came out, and they both said, yeah, Trump had paid, he had reimbursed Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, for the money that was paid to Stormy Daniels in the non-disclosure agreement. Now, what this article does is kind of look back, because people were going after Sarah Huckabee Sanders because they're saying, hey, you lied to us. You said that Trump had no knowledge at all whatsoever of this, the payment, and said that he had no knowledge of it whatsoever. Now, here's what Raw Story says. It says, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders over the past several months has made multiple false statements about President Donald Trump's knowledge of whether attorney Michael Cohen paid off adult film star Stormy Daniels. In the wake of Rudy Giuliani's bombshell admission that Trump personally reimbursed Cohen for the $131,000 payout to Daniels, reporters on Thursday asked Sanders why she hadn't told the truth about the deal. Sanders, however, flatly refused to answer any questions. Quote, in a gaggle of reporters at the White House just now, Sarah Sanders refused to answer multiple questions about why she and the president made statements about the Daniels case that we now know to be untrue. Sanders insisted she couldn't comment because of ongoing litigation, which is hilarious, because she's the White House press secretary. Also goes on to say, Philip then quoted Sanders during a press briefing in March in which she said that Trump had absolutely no knowledge of Cohen's payment to Daniels. Quote, I've had conversations with the president about this. There was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations. So that's a direct quote from what she said in a press conference back in March about this whole case. And what can you say other than the statement of Stormy Daniels has won? Because even if you basically end it here, she has essentially won. Not only has she benefited herself, but also she's essentially laid out enough groundwork for the case to be made and finished that no evangelicals or Christians or the party of family values, in which a man cheated on his wife when she was pregnant, and the party of Jesus and all of this other stuff, right? None of them should be supporting Trump, especially evangelicals, because of course they're the hard right, the furthest right of the Christians. And so she's laid the groundwork for that, not only the groundwork, but finished that case that she's basically making. But also, there's also maybe grounds for criminality in this case, because if it were to have came out of, apparently even if it's not from campaign funds, but if it had to do with the campaign itself or the presidency in itself, there's some kind of litigation or some kind of laws that could have been broken here that we're going to be looking at here. Try to update you guys on the situation. It's something that's very interesting, and I just wanted to point out again how much of a liar, a pathological and compulsive liar Sarah Huckabee Sanders is. And this also obviously comes in light of the Michelle Wolf speech that she gave, the comedy skit that she basically did at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, saying that she burns facts, and it's true. People were saying that somehow it was about her looks when it had nothing to do with her looks. In fact, it was a compliment about her looks. And what she was trying to say is she burns facts because she lies all the time. And any press secretary in this administration is just going to be constant, consistent liars, and that's the truth about it. And you should not only not trust Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but you should withhold any respect or gratitude towards her for anything whatsoever at all times.